Hi everyone, it's Christine and I'm back again with another tutorial. This is another guest design team member tutorial for Scrapbooking with Me Boutique. And this is my sample. I used the Kaiser Craft keepsakes for this one, and it's a little notebook thing. I had this here so that the ink wouldn't dry. And my stuff's not in good because I'm going to use it for the one I'm doing. But this has a place for post-it notes. And then this, you could put a calculator. I made this to be like a little budget. Or take to the grocery store or whatever. Okay, so I'm going to show y'all how I made this. I got this design from a swap that I did with a different group, and we used Shell Fabian, and in parentheses beside her name on her YouTube it says Baby Tweetums. It's her tutorial, and I just changed it to match what I wanted to do. Okay, so for this tutorial you're going to need a calculator and a post-it note pad in the 3x3. You're going to need a junior legal pad. You're going to need some ribbon or twine or something for a closure, because I want to put a closure on the one that I'm making now. Put this up here. It's to decorate the front. Alright. You will need, get everything sorted. Had it over to the side out of the way. Okay, you're going to need 2 pieces of chipboard that are 8 3/4 by 5 3/4. And on one side I just outlined with score tape, and on the other side I did a little bit better job of, filling in with some score tape. Okay. You will also need a 8 3/4 by 1 inch piece of chipboard. And you want to cover the back of it pretty good with score tape. Move this stuff off. You're going to need 2 solid color pieces of cardstock cut out at 7 3/4. I'm sorry. No, not 7 3/4. Thinking about something else. 10 3/4 by 8. And then you're going to score all the way around at 1 inch. That's going to give you your little guide for how you're going to place the chipboard. And it doesn't matter if it's all scarred and everything and got some staining, because it's going to all be covered. Most of it will be covered. Okay, so I'm going to start with the piece that has a lot of, hold on. You're going to put on the 8-inch side, you're going to take where you did this 1 inch, and you're going to attach in that 1 inch. See if you see what I mean right there. And the same, you can't see it over here. Yeah, you can right there. That's going to give you your backing to be big enough. Alright, and to do my corners, to miter my corners, what I did was I took my Tim Holtz ruler, and I just kind of went about 1/4 of an inch off. You only need 1/8 of an inch, but I do 1/4 of an inch. And I just drew me a line. I'm just going to cut that out. Okay. Now, I'm going to take my 8 3/4 by 5 3/4 inch chipboard, one of them. I'm going to take my backing off of my score tape, which I have burnished down really good. Okay, and I'm going to just match it up along my lines right here. And it'll be off a little. You'll have a little more room over here than you do, but this just gives you that guideline. Alright, now you're going to need your 1 inch by 8 3/4 inches. And what we're going to do is put this butt this up against, we're going to take our 10 Holtz ruler and butt it up against our chipboard and then match this up. We're going to line this up. That's off just a hair. Alright. Done them before they were off a hair. Okay, now we're going to do the other 8 3/4 by 5 3/4 chipboard on the other side. I think these little notebooks are so cute, and you don't have to put the calculator. You could put a little pocket. I'll show you another design of one when we're done, if I don't forget. Okay, take the 10 Holtz ruler again. Okay, now, see we got a little bit over there. It's going to be fine. Take my word for it. Play with our little spine a little bit. Okay, now, these we don't want to take off all the way yet. We just want to pull them up enough to get this out. Y'all ignore my husband. He's walking through the house. Okay, I'm going to start with our long end, and we're going to pull it up. Start on one side and pull kind of tight. Okay, now we're going to go to our other long side. I'm going to do the same thing. Pull kind of tight, starting at one end. Okay, now, everybody has their own way of doing the corners. Here's what I like to do. I like to pretend like I'm folding a package. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to don't listen to my husband. I don't know what he's doing, what he's talking about. Okay, now we're going to take this one. Okay, this didn't happen with my other ones. Alright, let me see if I can't fix that with some glue. Hold it down a minute. See if that'll weigh enough to hold it down. I'll probably have to put a little something, a little embellishment there to hide that. I don't know if it's the thickness of this cardstock compared to what I used with the others or what, but it's ripping on me. This corner did it too. I'll have to do something to hide that. I don't know what yet, but I'll find something. Alright, we're going to burnish. Okay, now we're going to take I think it's 2 by 7 3/4 inch piece of cardstock that matches the cardstock that we used on the outside. And we need to tape this up pretty good. This is just so that we don't get any bowing or anything like that. Okay, and you'll notice I've already done the outside of the back of my piece of cardstock. And I've already done these sides. Okay, give it a good burnish. You can kind of do that to put the crease in there. You can do our raising. Make sure we're good. Alright, now, so I don't forget, here is where we want to put our ribbon on. This is the point where we want to put this on. Okay. Going to put us some score tape where we know it's going to be hidden behind our matting on the front and the back. Okay, now then. Line that up. Let's see, I think I'm going to go the 4 and the 5. And that's what I'm going to do on this side. I'm going to line this up with my Tim Holtz ruler. And since I have 1-inch tape, I am going to go between the 4 and the 5. Oops. I don't know what that was. I have 1-inch ribbon. Okay. Now, my cover is going to be this. So, I want this to be my back. And I'm going to put my back here where this is messed up at. Except I got it in the front too. Alright, so this is one of the 5.5 by 8.5 pieces with some good score tape because you don't want it to bow. Make sure your design goes to the top. Okay, and then I chose this. So, this is going to be my front. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and decorate my front because I know that I'm going to be putting stuff in the back. So all I wanted to do with my front was add some little pieces, not that one because I didn't want to ink the edges of these. So I'm going to get out another butterfly. These are from the BoBunny Noteworthy set that came with that you can order with this. See, I know I have another one of those butterflies. Let's see, I may decide to go ahead and put that on. I haven't decided. No, not that. Okay. Not exactly the same butterfly, but close enough. Alright, so all I want to do, because I love this piece of paper, I love, love, love it, is I just want to put some elements so that it pops a little, so that it's 3D. So I'm going to take some of these pop dots, or pop square thingies, and like I have one of the roses, and I'm just going to put it, and I'll pop it right there on top of that rose. And I'm going to kind of stick some of these around, some of the feathers. You really don't want to hide the antlers though. But I'm afraid it's going to, no matter what I do, it's going to hide part of them. Because I really want those other feathers to show. Oh, I think I like that. Okay, so I'm going to pop these. Then I'm going to put a little bit of glue right there to go underneath. Okay, so I'm going to put this right like that. See, it just gives that picture some definition. That's all I'm wanting to do. I really love the picture. I just want some definition in it. Some pop. A little bit of glue right here on that, just for where it goes under the flower so that it stays. Okay, now let's kind of put that right there where you can still see the better part of the antlers. Now, I want to add some little butterflies. And the way I'm going to give them definition is by just kind of creasing the wings up. Oh, look, he's right there. here. No. Maybe right there. Like he's flying away. Let me get my pop dots put up. Okay, now, see how that gave that some definition? Okay, so now let's come to the inside. We have two more of the 8.5 by 5.5 pieces of paper and a different design. I chose to do a different design on the inside because everything's going to kind of cover it all. So you're not going to see a lot of the picture of it. So I went with a plainer piece of the paper. It's still gorgeous. It's just a little bit plainer. So that when we hide it, it'll be alright. Okay, and this is the other 8.5 by 5.5. Just gonna kind of center that. We all know I don't center well, so just do the best I can. Okay, make sure our pictures, everything's going the right way. Okay, let's get our notebook side done. So we're going to take our junior legal pad, and mine happens to be 5 inches. So I just cut out a 5-inch piece. And if some of them are 5 1/4, you would need to cut that out. Just measure it and cut out whatever it is, and then it just needs to be like, I don't know, 3 inches. This was just a piece I had that was left over that I just cut to 5 and went with the length that it was. And you want to pretty much get some good tape coverage on it. And I chose this pink bird paper because I just love it. I think it's gorgeous. Okay. So I want to do that. Too bad my bird's going to be bent over backwards. Okay. Now we're just going to take this piece, and it's just 3 inches by 7 3/4 inches. It was just a little piece that was also left. And what you're going to do is you're going to take this and you're going to put it up all the way to the top here. And then you're going to take it and you're going to fold it over like this. And that's going to give you a little belly band to get the notebook in and out. And you want some decent coverage of tape on this because you don't want it to come apart when you change out your notebook. Okay, now I'm just going to use your notebook, your little junior legal pad, to kind of place this where you want it. I kind of want mine a little high. I kind of want that little southwestern design at the bottom of the paper to show. And now look. Let's change it out. Whenever you're out of paper, you can get another one and just change it out. And there we go. There's that side. Okay. So I already went ahead and I did my pen. This pen I don't like as well as I liked the way this one came out. The smaller pen, and it's more rounded, it doesn't have the little beveled look on the inside, seems to hold the picture better. But this is what I had bought, so it's what I used. And all I did was I measured from here to here, and then I cut me out a little piece. You know, I think this one's like an inch. It's this length and then an inch. And you just take your pen apart and roll it up real tight and pop it down in there and open up inside it. And then you have a pen that kind of matches. Okay, and then this is a 2x2 little piece. And it's going to have to be round, so we're going to have to kind of play with it a little. Okay, so now that we've done that, I kind of broke the fibers up a little so they would bend. We're going to attach our sides together like this. Then we're going to need to put another piece of tape on the outside of our seam here. Burnish it as best you can because you kind of want to keep it kind of round. And it's going to go right here. And all that's going to do is just hold our pen in place. Oh, come on, you fit while ago. Alright, like that. Okay, now over here, first I'm going to do my pocket. And my bird is backwards. It is sideways. I'm kind of sad about that. I may have to do something with him and put one of those little birds that was in the little pack, the noteworthy, on here. Okay, so you need a piece that is 6 by 3 3/4. On the 6-inch side, on both ends, you're going to score at a 1/2 inch and at 1 inch. On the 3 3/4 side, you're going to score on one end, the 1/2 inch and the 1 inch. Okay, and here's what you're going to have to do. This is a little tricky. We're going to angle this to right there. Then this comes out. And you're going to cut right here along the score line. And then you're going to angle. And what this is going to do, it's going to give you a kind of 3D pocket. So you also got to cut right here. Actually, you can cut here like that if you want to, or either one, just not both. Okay, and it's going to kind of give you a 3D pocket so that it holds that calculator in place. Okay, now, when we go to put this together, our little tab thing is going to go up like that. Okay, now, I like to go ahead and stick the calculator in. And you can get a little bit wider calculator if you want. You kind of want to keep it pretty close to the top because you have to fit the post-it notes. And we're going to just try to burnish as best we can in there. Alright, now, you know what I didn't do? Shoot. Let's see, can I get this up without tearing it up? Ah, yes. I forgot to put my piece, my centerpiece. This is I think I went ahead and cut this one out 1 inch, but it's supposed